What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I am going to be building apartments in the world of Ciudad Enamorada on a larger lot that I've actually never used before. This is one of the lots that is just empty by default. And Ciudad Enamorada is of course the world that came with a Lovestruck expansion pack, by the way, in case you don't recognize the name. But yeah, this is one of the bigger lots in the more downtown area where I believe by default there is a bar as well. That one, like Rabbit Hole Motel, is in this portion of the world as well, if you're familiar with the Lovestruck gameplay, that is. So yeah, this is one of the lots that is empty by default, and I've never actually built anything on this lot before. I don't know why. I really always wanted to, but I just never really had an idea of what I wanted to build here specifically. There's so many options. The build is kind of big. I believe it's a 40 by 30 if I'm not mistaken. So the lot is kind of big and I just wasn't sure what to do here, and then I got distracted probably by other builds and other packs and maybe some seasonal builds and stuff as well. So I just never got around to using this specific lot, but I'm excited to actually use it here for this build. And I decided to build an apartment building here. So we have 6 apartments total, and I was definitely going for a more starter apartment kind of look and feel. So I wanted this apartment building to look kind of run down, not to the sense that it's like disgusting and gross and there's trash everywhere, but it's definitely older and a little bit run down, and maintenance on this building is probably not the best. So there's definitely just maybe some leaks and a little bit of mold and just some stains and maybe a little bit of like rubbish going on around here as well. But it is essentially a really cozy place. I really like what we ended up doing here with these apartments. So it's 6 apartments total, and as you can see, they're kind of small. I was going for, like I said, like starter apartment types of interiors as well, and I wanted them to be kind of on the smaller side. So they each have 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. You could obviously just turn it into 1 bedroom, 1 office or something like that, but I wanted there to be a little bit of room to grow for households to just move in here, maybe have a couple of kids, and then it would still work. So that's kind of what I was trying to accomplish here, and I think it turned out really, really fun. So as you can see, it kind of looks a little bit like a motel, sort of. That's the shape of it. But I thought it'd be fun to use an apartment, like a building like this, like a motel type building like this, but turn it into actual apartments as opposed to just a motel. So it's just like basically 6 of the same apartments. The floor plans for each are a little bit different. Because you can see that, for example, the side apartments each have a little bump out, and then the middle apartment obviously doesn't have that. So they're each going to be a little bit different in that sense. But the floor plans are basically the same for all of them. And yeah, so in that sense, they're very similar. I tried to be very realistic about the interior as well, in the sense that they all have the same appliances in the kitchen, the same kind of stuff in the same furniture in the bathroom, like the same plumbing and all that kind of stuff. They have the same floors and, well, not wallpapers, but the same floors. And then I think for the kitchens and bathrooms, I actually did use the same floors and wallpapers as well. So they're kind of similar in that sense. They're definitely rentals. I also put these on the gallery as a residential rental building. And also, I actually decided to break this build up into 2 separate speed builds because I really obviously wanted to show you the exterior as well as the interior, but I decided to actually sit down and fully decorate 3 of these apartments with storylines and everything, and the exterior as well as 3 interiors for 3 apartments that aren't that tiny. It was just going to be a super, super long video. I know that a lot of people actually enjoy super long videos, but I thought for this one specifically, since it's so like divided into exterior and then interiors, I thought it makes sense to maybe break it up into 2 separate speed builds. So that's what we did. And then today I'm obviously just showing you the exterior. So that's what we're working on today. But then in the next part, which will be up in a few days, I'm not exactly sure when, but a little bit later in this upcoming week, I'll have part 2 up for you. And then I will show you how I furnished 3 of these 6 apartments. So I did 3 of these apartments with full storylines and little households in mind. So those are very detailed decoration wise, and then 3 of them I decorated as actual starter apartments. So they're really cheap. They have the bare necessities. One of these apartments actually is basically empty. They all have the kitchens and bathrooms done. So that's all set up for you and basically move-in ready in that sense. But one of them I actually basically just left empty decoration wise. So it has a couple of just like random boxes and I think a random rug and like a chair or something, but then for the rest that's just empty. Because I thought it'd be fun to have a little bit of a mix between actual like storyline types of apartments where you could move in a specific household with a specific dynamic. But then if you wanted to use these, I wanted these apartments to be good for gameplay as well. So you can actually use them, move in here. Maybe you want to tell your own story in these apartments. So it's nice to just have some starter apartments with the bare necessities. And then you can actually work your way up to maybe renovating it, buying nicer stuff, cleaning it up a little bit. I thought that would be fun. So I tried to find a middle ground between those types of like households and like gameplay wise, so you can kind of do whatever it is that you want with them. But yeah, for today we're just working on the exterior. So you can see that it is definitely starting to I'm starting on the details here. I figured out the floor plans actually on screen because I thought it'd be fun to kind of show you the process of me trying to figure out the floor plans for each of these apartments. And I really like how they came together. The annoying part is that the back doors for both the lower level apartments, which have actual backyards, and then the top floor apartments actually have tiny balconies. So I imagine the ground floor apartments to be a little bit more expensive in that sense. But yeah, the back doors are off of the main bedrooms. And I was really at first trying to find a way around that because that was just a little bit annoying. I wish I could have had the maybe the living room in the back, so you would have, or the kitchen in that sense, so that you could have the back door off of either the kitchen or the living room. And I really tried to make that work, but floor plan wise, it just wasn't really working out. It didn't make the most sense, and it was not great. So I decided to actually do the bedrooms in the back, but that does mean that the back door into the yard or the balcony is off of the main bedroom, which is a little bit annoying, but I feel like it kind of makes sense for these apartments. They're not supposed to be super nice. They're supposed to be kind of old in the sense that they're just, they could maybe use a little bit of a renovation to make them a little bit more modern. The floor plans are pretty like closed off in that sense. There's a pretty spacious hallway taking up a little bit of space, which is definitely realistic, but maybe not the most modern or ideal thing. Maybe if you were to kind of redo these apartments right now, you would probably go for a bit of a more open floor plan in that sense. But I tried to come up with something that was a little bit more, well, not as modern, I guess, a little bit more outdated. So I thought that would be fun for these apartments. They're supposed to be kind of like old and run down in that sense. So yeah, that really worked out. And then most of these apartments actually don't have windows in the kitchen. So I decided to go for a few skylights, but those obviously only work for the top floor apartments. So there's still 2 apartments. The two of the ground floor apartments actually don't have windows in the kitchen, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I tried to open up the floor plan a little bit more there by just not using an archway, but like opening up the space a little bit and just like bulldozing a portion of the wall. So that's what I ended up doing. But yeah, more on that obviously in the next speed build when I will be talking you through the interior for 3 of these apartments. For now, we're just working on the exterior. And since I had a lot of space left over here on the lot, I decided to go for some nice shared spaces here on the lot. I thought that would be really fun since there are 6 apartments and each of them fit up to 4 Sims total if you wanted to. I felt like it'd be nice to have some things to do here around the building, and I'm not actually sure if that counts towards the rental price for these apartments. I mean, I think it does, but I'm not too sure about that. I haven't really done a lot of gameplay where I was the landlord and like I took care of a building, or I was a tenant for that matter. I haven't really done, well, I have been a tenant actually. I've done that before. But I'm not exactly sure how it works for the rental price if you add like a shared pool to the shared spaces essentially, because that's what I did here. You can see on one side, I decided to go for a pool area. I was really trying to find a way to blend this lot into the surrounding areas, which wasn't that difficult to do because we just have for the front of the lot, we have a sidewalk going up to the edge of the lot, so that was perfect. I could just seamlessly basically blend it into the sidewalk, and that was absolutely perfect. For the back, it was a little bit more tricky here, so I decided to basically tile in everything, and then I used hedges for the borders. There's definitely some grass in the back though, but I tried to blend it into the best of my abilities here, and I think it looked really fun. And yeah, so like I said, there was definitely some space left here, so I went for a basketball court on the other side, and then I thought it would be so cute to also add a shared garden. So we have a community garden space. I don't know how that works gameplay wise, but I feel like it definitely will work because I know that plants normally don't really grow when you leave the lot. I think that's how it used to be, but I'm not exactly sure. So if you were to do only gardening in a community garden, I don't think that there's going to be a lot that grows, but maybe that's changed over the years. I'm not exactly sure how that works. But if you live here and you have this community garden space, I think that would be so cute to just hang out with your neighbors and do some gardening. I just think that that would be such a cozy thing to do. And I also wanted to make sure to add lots of playground equipment. Well, not lots, but at least some playground equipment for children as well, because I was definitely imagining there living some younger families here with younger children. I thought that would be really cute. And then the children could meet up by the playground equipment or by the pool or by the basketball court for that matter. So I wanted there to be enough just like activities and things to do. I thought that would be so cozy, especially since 6 of these apartments don't really have backyards. So there's not a lot of, possibility to place like fun outdoor activities and such because they only have a really tiny balcony. So I thought that would be really, really fun. So here I was doing a little bit of landscaping. It's not too much because like I said, I basically tiled in everything and I kind of got rid of all the possibilities to do cute, lush landscaping, but I wanted there to be some plants. So I basically just decided to create some makeshift planter boxes here, if you could call it that, by just placing some hedges and things like around the edges of the building. I thought that would be nice. And then I decided that I also wanted there to be a dumpster because, yeah, this apartment building is going to be a little bit run down. Not in the sense that it's disgusting and not taken care of, but it could definitely use a little bit more maintenance and a little bit of cleaning up. You can basically tell already by the wallpaper that I used for this build, and on the roof where I placed air conditioning units and stuff, there's definitely some stains, like maybe some puddles and some leakage going on. So I was trying to kind of tell that story where the building is not the nicest. And at some point I also realized that a parking lot would have been so perfect for this build, but then I actually came to the conclusion that I still had enough space basically out front to park a couple of cars. So I did that, but then after that I thought it'd be cute to just go crazy with bicycles. I feel like everyone living in all these apartments would definitely have a couple of bicycles at least. I know that's very Dutch of me. If you didn't know that about me, I do live in the Netherlands, but apartment buildings like this would definitely have bicycles scattered around everywhere because everyone here has bikes and that's just the way to get around. So I kind of figured that that would be really cute to do here for this apartment building as well. So I parked a lot of bicycles. I added some more later on actually. And then here I got started on decorating this portion of the build where we have the shared pool. It's actually pretty spacious. It's kind of nice. Like imagine having a pool like this right next to your house. I feel like that would be so nice. It's not as nice for the people living in that very first ground floor apartment that basically borders the pool and there's like windows looking over the pool as well. It's probably going to be really noisy all the time, but you win some, you lose some. I feel like it'd be nice to have this pool in any case. So yeah, I decided to open up the back here as well. So there was space for another playground area for children. So I placed some extra monkey jungle bars out there and then a nice shared grill area as well. So I decided to place some picnic tables. We have a grill, of course, and then a lot of trash cans because I feel like areas like this, it's kind of easy to make it look to like have it become messy because Sims will be barbecuing, like grilling all the time, so there'll be food everywhere all the time, and it's nice to just be able to pick that up and drag it into a bin if you're just doing gameplay here and cleaning up a little bit. That's what I find myself doing all the time anyway for areas like this. So I decided to place a couple of picnic tables like I said, and then some nice umbrellas as well. Those are debug umbrellas. I don't think they are in the way of actually using those picnic picnic tables, but I'm not exactly sure. I feel like, I don't think they block your Sims from sitting down, but I'm not sure, to be honest. And then after I was done with the pool area, I decided to add some extra details to the build. I came across those air conditioning units from For Rent. I thought those were so cute, so I placed a couple of them by the windows as well. And then I did a little bit of landscaping, a little bit of terrain paint. I will say when I did the interiors for the apartments, I obviously also did a couple of the backyards, and I did add some extra landscaping because the backyards are really bare at this point. But yeah, I did do some extra landscaping for a couple of the backyards as well to just make it look a little bit more lush and like make it look a little bit more, I don't know, just like blend it in a little better, I guess. Obviously, I had to put some lights everywhere on the walls as well. And yeah, I think this apartment unit turned out really, really cute. I think it turned out really expensive though. So if you do want to do some gameplay where you're the landlord and you want to run this apartment, or you want to buy this and like rent it out to people, I think you're going to have a lot of money. I believe the furnished version of this, I also uploaded a unfurnished version of this, so you can actually grab like the version that we're working on right now and do the interiors yourself. But I believe the fully furnished one comes in at around just a little bit over 200,000 simoleons, I think. So you're gonna either have to be a really wealthy sim, or you could I don't know, cheat for money and just purchase it that way, of course. But I will say, I think it'd be so fun to actually do gameplay and be the landlord for this. I think it'd be very chaotic because it's 6 apartments. There's definitely stuff going on all the time probably, and you're gonna have to go over here and talk to everyone. And that is basically just like a full-time job to run 6 apartments, I think. But I think that'd be kind of fun. Now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like it'd be really fun to try that at some point. But also being a tenant here, I really tried to go for making these gameplay friendly too. So I think it'd be really fun to just live in one of these apartments, especially since 3 of them are under starter budget, so you can move in right away. I feel like we don't have enough cute starter apartments in the game in general, so I felt like adding a couple would be a fun thing to do. So I hope that that this can provide that for you as well. Obviously, this is not pack restricted. I did use a lot of packs for this one. I was going to try to make it pack restricted, but then I didn't end up doing that. I don't know. I was just having too much fun. There's something about these more rundown builds that are a little bit gross looking to a degree. You know, it's not like super disgusting, but there's definitely some trash around and it's a little bit run down looking. It's just my favorite thing to do in The Sims. I don't know why. I really enjoy it so much, which is why I'm still manifesting a hotel expansion pack. I really hope that's going to come out, because imagine all the grungy motels we can do. I literally would cry because that would just be so much fun for me to do. But yeah, here you can see I'm just adding a couple of few decorations here. I tried to decorate the front door areas for all these apartments a little bit. At this point, I really didn't have any storylines or anything for the apartments, so I just plonked down some items that I thought were cute. For this one, we have a nice little table and a couple of chairs outside. I did some planter boxes. We also, I guess we have a lot of bicycles. We also have a lot of plants going on by the front doors. I thought that was really cute. I came across these actual bike racks from For Rent, so I quickly placed those and I added a couple more bikes. And yeah, after that, that's basically going to be it for this exterior part of this 2-part speed build, I guess. So let's jump in the game and I'll show you the build in real time. So here we have the starter apartments in the game. I'm going to be really careful to not show you the interior because I want that to be a surprise, but obviously there is a fully furnished version of this on the gallery. So if you wanted to download it and use it fully furnished, you can. But for today, we're focusing on the exterior. So you can probably tell that this is definitely a little bit run down, a little bit grungy looking. It could use some love and attention and just a little bit of paint maybe as well over here. I love this wallpaper combination, by the way. They're both from Life and Death, and I just feel like it's such a fun combination. The chipped paint on this one and then the brick on the ground floor. I don't know, I just think it's really fun. Then on this side of the build, of course, we have the shared basketball courts. I feel like they would use this autonomously a lot, which is kind of fun. So you can see your neighbors out just enjoying this area all the time. I also added this hopscotch, and we have marbles out here for kids to use. And then this is that really cozy community garden area, which I feel like would be kind of useful as well, especially if you're living in one of these top floor apartments and you don't have a backyard. This is specifically very useful. Then on the other side here is where we have the pool. So it's not the nicest pool, but it's nice that it's there, you know? We also have a dumpster out here, by the way. And then, yeah, just this nice pool. We have a diving board. There's a pizza floaty. We have some loungers. There's also a kiddie pool in the corner here. A water balloon bucket. I thought that would be a fun activity, so I added that. And then we have a bunch of these picnic tables. Somebody left a pizza box out here, and then there's some drink trays as well, some more hopscotch, a grill, and another play area. And then out here, I just parked a lot of bikes. I parked a couple of cars, not too many, because it was kind of blocking the view, I guess, but I felt like it'd be kind of realistic to park your cars here, so that's what I did. And then we have 6 mailboxes total, of course. And then just these little front door areas as well that I tried to make a little cozy. I did make some changes here that has everything to do with the storyline for this apartment, which I will obviously tell you about in part 2 of this build. And then in the back here, we have the 3 backyards and also the 3 little balconies. So the backyards are actually really nice and spacious. So there's a lot of room for activity in the back here. And as you can see, I did add some stuff here for these fully furnished apartments, of course. But yeah, that is basically it for the exterior of this apartment building. So these starter apartments are up on the gallery as an empty building, meaning that I did do the entire exterior like I just showed you, but the interior is completely empty. So I do have all the layouts done, like all the floor plans are put in. I did leave some filler furniture in. I accidentally forgot to delete those beds, but yeah, that's not a big deal. But for the rest, these are completely empty, as you can see, but they do have the floor plans done. So if you want to download this and furnish the apartments yourself, you can. There is a fully furnished version of this on my gallery as well. As you can see a quick overview of these apartments. These are fully furnished, aside from just one here at the end that's basically empty, but it's move-in ready. So if you wanted to download them fully furnished, you can obviously do that as well. And then I'll have part 2 of this video out soon as well, where we're going over the interiors for these apartments. But that's gonna do it for today's video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this one. You can obviously go ahead and download this apartment building off the gallery, like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmary Sims. You can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok if you like. My username on there is Simmary Sims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you'd like to get notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. I also live stream over on Twitch a few times a week, so if you're interested in that, go ahead and give me a follow over on twitch.tv/SimmerySims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!